Hey guys, Fallout Lover here, back with another Fallout 76 video, and today I have the part 2 for the heavy weapon video, and today we're going to be focusing on the energy weapons of Fallout 76, and they're actually really good. As always, we're going to have the same rules. The better weapons are going to be the ones that can clear out West Tech with the fastest time, so we're not necessarily looking at the highest damage. One thing that you want to keep in mind while watching this is the best weapon from the previous video had a time of 4 minutes and 14 seconds, and that was the Shredder minigun, which was our bonus weapon. If you want to exclude that, the fastest weapon was the LMG, and that had 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Before I get started, here's a look at the perks that I used. And here's another look at the mutations that I used. So the gun that will kick us off will be the Cryolator. This gun is not as good as I wish it was. I don't know if it's the ammo capacity, the damage, or both, but this gun just, it is not that great. It had a time of 6 minutes and 15 seconds, which isn't like the worst time ever, but it's not great. The ammo is not fun to find. I'm not really sure how expensive it is because I don't think I've ever actually crafted cryo cells in this game. But they're not fun to find. If you're just going off of ammo you get out in the wild, you have fun finding that, and that it's basically non-existent. So the Cryolator sucks. It's not good. So I would definitely skip this gun. If you really just want to have a good time and just use something completely new, you can get away with using it. It's decent in damage, but it's still not that great. The next weapon that we have to look at is the Plasma Caster. Now this gun is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this thing. It's just a Fallout classic, but it's not the best. I'd probably have to chalk that up because it's a semi-automatic gun, not an automatic gun, and obviously the automatic guns are going to be better because of Tenderizer and some other buffs that the automatic guns have. But it got a time of 5 minutes and 12 seconds, which is pretty good. Still not the greatest, but it was faster than the Gatling gun, which was the number 5 spot for the last video, but still not in the top 3. Our number 4 spot goes to the Gatling laser. This thing is actually pretty fun to use. It's got basically no recoil, so if you want a gun with no recoil, I think it's pretty good. But it's also not the strongest in terms of damage, and if you're looking for a late game weapon, I would skip this one and I would pay attention to this next pick. So one spot ahead of it, which makes sense because it is a modified version of it, we have the Ultracite Gatling laser. This gun is cooler because first off it does more damage, second off it shoots green lasers, and third off, well, that's basically about it. This gun is actually not a bad weapon. If you're going to use heavy weapons, I always recommend that you get one of these guns because ammo for them is pretty good. And one thing I did not mention with the Gatling laser, this is true with the Gatling, or the Ultracite Gatling laser, and the Gatling plasma, which is weird because it doesn't take fusion cores. But if you're using the perk that allows your fusion cores to last longer, it works with the Gatling guns, such as the Gatling laser and the Gatling plasma, which is weird. You would think it only works on Pound Warmer, but it doesn't. Therefore, it will actually double your ammo capacity, which is pretty cool. So if you want double the ammo capacity, these weapons, just with that simple perk on, will allow you to double it. And since they're fusion cores, it's not like you use 2 fusion cores in your thing, you're getting more for 1. So if you're going to use the Gatling lasers and the Gatling plasma, you definitely want to have that perk on. And that also is another reason why these guns are pretty good, is because of that perk. I was using it without that perk, probably with a slight shorter time, or slightly longer time, but still pretty good gun. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the Gatling Plasma. This gun I was just mentioning also works with that fusion core buff, or I should say plasma core buff, as it takes plasma cores. This gun is pretty good. It's annoying because I don't like using it, but I gotta give it credit. It does really good damage, and ammo is not a problem. It's not as expensive as you'd think it would be, and if you're crafting Ultracite versions of this, you can honestly turn out a lot more than you put in. So this gun overall is probably one of the easiest guns to actually keep satisfied. Like, once you get a decent supply of plasma cores, ammo's not an issue with this gun. So honestly, I'd say this is probably one of the cheapest guns to maintain in Fallout 76. So it's actually a really good gun. Its time was 4 minutes and 11 seconds, which is pretty good, but We have one weapon that beats that, and will also beat the number 1 spot from the previous video. So coming in at the number 1 spot for this video, and beating the number 1 spot of last video, we have the Flamer. This takes 3 minutes and 40 seconds. This thing is a beast. The only problem I have with it is bugged. Whenever you relog or join a new server, you will have to reset all the attachments, which it's not fun, no one wants to do that. But if you have the attachments reset, or if you don't mind doing it, this gun is really good. It is very good. It has some of the highest damage per shot, and it has a very big clip of 200. It has everything you need. If you get an anti-armor one, or any other version, also keep in mind, I do not test these with legendary effects, these are just base stock. The only ones that have legendary effects are the ones that you have to craft with it, you can't take it off. But these guns, the Flamers, are very good, and I would like to see more of these in the future, like more akin to the Fallout 3 version, because the Flamers in this game, they're pretty good, and I really wish that trait would get expanded. So other than that little tiny thing that is pretty annoying, the Flamers are pretty good, and it does beat the number 1 spot from the last video, which was the LMG, or the Shredder minigun. It beats both of them. So as a whole, I would like to say that the energy weapons are more suitable for this style than the non-energy heavy weapons. So if you're going to use heavy guns, you're probably going to want to choose the energy versions, because they're pretty good. Overall, energy weapons in this game are all pretty good either way, so I hope both of these videos helped you out if you watched both of them. I hope you're able to choose heavy weapons that'll be good to you in your playthroughs. And with that being said, I would like to bid all of you guys farewell. Thanks for watching.